on our top lead this evening. Let's get to the other big story we are tracking. It's again coming from the national capital, where the Chief Minister has done it again. Arvind Kejriwal has skipped a third summon issued by the Enforcement Directorate. Now, this summon is, as you know, in connection with the Delhi excise policy case. So that means he has skipped 3 summons in the last 3 months. Now, it didn't end there. Mr. Kejriwal promptly sent off a letter to the ED asking them to first respond to his questions. He said the agency was playing judge, jury and executioner and that their summons was simply illegal. The Delhi Chief Minister has also made it very clear that he's busy till the end of January with the Rajya Sabha elections and the Republic Day parade. He, however, said he is ready to answer any questionnaire the ED sends him. Needless to say, a political war of words has ensued between the Aam Aadmi Party and the BJP. Listen in.
मुख्यमंत्री अरविंद केजरीवाल जी को गिरफ्तार करने की साजिश केंद्र सरकार कर रही है ताकि मुख्यमंत्री लोकसभा चुनाव की कैंपेन में ना जा पाए, उनको जेल में बंद कर दिया जाए। ये बात जानते हैं कि मनीष जी को करीब 1 साल से गिरफ्तार किया हुआ है। उनके खिलाफ कोई सबूत अदालत में पेश नहीं कर पाए हैं। आज नहीं तो कल मनीष जी निर्दोष साबित होंगे और रिहा होंगे। ये बात केंद्र सरकार भी जानती है। इसलिए सोचा जा रहा है कि किसी तरीके से अरविंद केजरीवाल जी को भी इस मुकदमे में गिरफ्तार कर लिया जाए।
जब 2 बार समन आया तो अरविंद केजरीवाल जी ने स्पष्ट तौर पर कई सवाल पूछते हुए इन्फोर्समेंट डायरेक्टोरेट को चिट्ठी लिखी, लेकिन तीनों बार चिट्ठी भेजने के बावजूद ईडी ने आज तक अरविंद केजरीवाल जी के सवालों का जवाब नहीं दिया। ईडी के अफसरों को भी पता है कि यह समन इल्लीगल है, कि आज ईडी और सीबीआई मात्र एक राजनीतिक हथियार बन के रह गई है जिसको विपक्ष के नेताओं पर इस्तेमाल किया जाता है।
आज सबसे बड़ी बेईमान पार्टी आम आदमी पार्टी बनी है, जिनके एक नहीं अनेक मंत्री जेल में है, उप मुख्यमंत्री जेल में है। अब मुख्यमंत्री भ्रष्टाचार के मामले में ईडी के समन को बार बार नकार के हाजिर नहीं हो रहे हैं। इससे स्पष्ट दिखता है कि कहीं ना कहीं दाल में कुछ काला है, या तो पूरी दाल ही काली नजर आती है।
It would not be wrong to say that Mr. Arvind Kejriwal today is afraid because he knows that his arrest is imminent. He is aware that he is the kingpin and having no answers, he is trying to evade the process of law. Mr. Arvind Kejriwal, you are not above the law of the country. When you order the investigating agency to withdraw the summon, it shows the lack of respect that you have for the rule of law of our country.
Okay. Now, earlier, Mr. Kejriwal, as you know, had skipped the ED's summons in November and December, calling them illegal and politically motivated. Kejriwal's right-hand man and former Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodia already in jail in connection with the case for the last 1 year. So is Sanjay Singh, the chief spokesperson for the party. My guest this evening for a very, very quick chat, Amit Tiwari, spokesperson of the BJP, joining us. Ravi Srivastava, political analyst, joining us. As all our viewers know by now, the Aam Aadmi Party doesn't want to send any guests to Mirror now to represent their side. So Ravi Srivastava is going to do the job for us. Ravi Srivastava, the question is simple. Every time the ED has sent you a summon, you've had a bahana. First you said, abhi election chal rahe hain. Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh mein there are elections. We are going to win. Arvind Kejriwal needs to campaign there. That is why the ED has sent him summons, so that he cannot go and campaign. Then when a second summon is sent, What do you say? You say, "Mere paas time nahi hai, I've gone for Vipassana." Now you're back from Vipassana. The elections, the general elections that are to be held this year have not even been declared. And yet the bahana is the attempt by the ED is to stall him from campaigning in 2024. Mane, logic kya hai? Agar ED bula rahi hai, chale jaiye. If your hands are clean, no one will be able to touch you or harm you.
Shreya, I hope you know, saying that agencies are being misused by the central government would almost become rhetoric, because it is being misused. It is become obvious. All opposition leaders are only corrupt. There are no corrupt in the BJP. And the point here is they want to arrest him. He's the third largest national party in India, and they want him to deprive of reaching to his own electorate for the forthcoming Lok Sabha elections. Now he has put up some valid questions. That what ground you have got to call me? You are calling me as a witness. You are calling me as an accomplice. You are calling me as an accused. What capacity are you calling me? Now ED has got options. Why don't they exercise those options? I will not name them, but they have got options. But the fact is that they are totally scared, because 1 year and 9 months they are conducting the inquiry against Satyendra Jain and Manish Sisodia, and not even an iota of evidence visible anywhere. It is court of
Okay. No, Ravi Srivastava, I take your point where you say that agencies like the ED and the CBI and the Income Tax Department have special love for opposition leaders only. I mean, if you look at data, if you look at their track record for the last 5 to 6 years, you will see that only and only opposition leaders have been targeted. No one from the BJP has been targeted. I agree with you 100%. But look at where the genesis of Mr. Arvind Kejriwal's ED summons are coming from. They are coming from the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court asked the ED, bhai, if you are saying that proceeds of Liquorgate, the alleged liquor scam, went to fund the Goa elections for the Aam Aadmi Party, then why have you not questioned the leadership? So the ED, based on what the Supreme Court has said, called Mr. Arvind Kejriwal for questioning. Now, it's all very well for you to say that the agencies are politically motivated, they are an extension of the BJP, etc. But in this case, the Supreme Court is asking some questions that the ED needs to answer. And the only way they can answer those questions are via Mr. Kejriwal.
You are absolutely right. That is where I was coming to. So, Honorable Supreme Court said that this money, ED said, this money was spent in Goa for elections. So why you are not asking the head of the political party? I am asking the competence of the Enforcement Directorate, that what evidence you had on hand. What on hand you had, what evidence was there? You are doing a roving inquiry. Okay, you also come, we will probe you. If you are found guilty, we'll arrest you. You also come, we'll probe you. You found guilty, we'll arrest you. I mean, this is a kind of a nonsense, and it shows that the agency is totally incompetent and working at the behest of the central government. You know very well where Mr. Dilip Ghosh.
Okay, Amit Tiwari, respond to that. Okay, I've heard you out. Amit Tiwari, respond to all that the Aam Aadmi Party is saying and what Arvind Kejriwal has said in his letter to the ED.
No, I respond to each of the questions. First of all, there are 3 dimensions to it. You may just look at it and examine it. Do you recall and remember that way back in 2011 and 12, he made a public speech and said that arrest Sonia Gandhi, if you can't arrest her, close the ACB, close the PD, arrest her and interrogate her for 2 days, you will learn about the corruption done by her. Now, secondly, he said that whenever any FIR is registered against any person, he is not even entitled for a job of chaprasing government. How can these politicians be still in the parliament or in the legislative assembly or hold portfolios in the cabinet? Now, today what has happened? A, there is a case by the ED. B, the lower court has dismissed the bail application holding a prima facie case. C, High Court dismissed the bail application holding a prima facie case. D, the Supreme Court commented, made queries, and then commented that yes, money bail of 338 crore is tentatively established. And thereafter, the Supreme Court directed conclude the investigation within 6 months. He is not cooperating. So now when it comes to him, his stand changes. The second issue that he is raising is about the legality or illegality of the summons of the ED. Now, there are laws in this country. If you believe that yes, the summons have been issued illegally, court of law, seek anticipatory bail application. Every time there is a summon, 4 or 5 spokespersons of Aam Aadmi Party hold a press conference and say that the summons are illegal. They want to arrest Arvind Kejriwal. If there is so much of apprehension that he will be arrested, go and file an anticipatory bail application in the High Court or the Such Court. The things will come out. The third is excuses. As he says, first excuse was that there are elections in Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Rajasthan. I am busy there. Then there is Diwali. I can understand Mr. Arvind Kejriwal can be busy in Eid, but not in Diwali because he doesn't believe in Ram. Second, summons issued. I am going to the past.
अरे अमित तिवारी यहाँ तो हिंदू मुस्लिम नहीं करो.
Rajya Sabha election. There is a Rajya Sabha elections. Thereafter, there is a 2024 Lok Sabha elections. Next time he will summon him, he will say there are elections in Haryana just 3 months after the Lok Sabha elections. Next time he will summon him, he will say no, there are elections in Delhi in February 2025. So I will not appear. Will you please tell him that this country, every year there are 3 to 4 states where elections are held. So today, when he wants to question you, you are issuing a letter telling them, please clarify my character. Your character will be clarified, your character will be determined whether you are a witness or an accused after your interrogation.
Okay.
Why are you running from here to
You know,
there?
Mr. Tiwari, I would have liked to stretch this discussion. Okay. I would have much liked to stretch the discussion. Unfortunately, technology is failing us today. Because your connectivity is not very great, so I can hear you half the times and I can't hear you half the times. I promise to you this is not deliberate. Amit Tiwari, so we'll just leave it here for the moment. Thank you very much. Ravi Srivastava, we'll leave it here. Thank you very much. My point is, how long? Thank you very much for saying it. Otherwise, we are sometimes called anti-BJP by people who support the BJP and anti-Congress by people who support the Congress party. So I always think to myself, we are doing something right. But thank you very much. My point is, how long can Arvind Kejriwal manage to skip summons? He has ignored these summons 3 times. How many more times will he do it? Ultimately, he will have to face the ED. We'll leave it there for the moment. Thank you. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for joining us on the broadcast. For the moment, I'm slipping into a quick break on the show. Up next, we are talking about 10 Indian restaurants that have made it to the top 100 in the world. That story is coming up. Do stay with us.